Before this week's video begins, I want to thank Antwhelm for the tennis ball tier, and Kesha Lin and Nerd Situation ROC both for one-time donations. Thanks so much, guys! Heyo everyone, Misha B. Barkin here. Before we get going, I have to apologize. I've been in a really severe rut since the beginning of September, and was constantly trying to force myself to edit and make videos. There's been a lot of self-realization. I've kind of been on a self-discovery journey this past week or so, and I think I'm finally happy with my choice and identity. But don't worry, I'm back. I'm feeling better than ever as of late, and I can't wait to get back into the flow of making videos, and I thank you all for sticking with me during this journey. Anyways, let's get on to why you clicked this video. Most of, if not all of my subscribers are furries, but for some of us, this is the only thing we really have in common. It can be really crazy just how different various furries can be across this group. With a show or activity, people have that one thing to bond over and talk about, but with the furry community, this is a little bit more broad. You could be in it because of Disney, or say a video game. Could be the fursuits, or the art, or the porn. The point is, with such a diverse community, there's bound to be sub-communities within, so I decided it'd be kind of fun to look through and discuss some of these different furry archetypes. Lastly, I don't say anything negative about these, but I do crack a few jokes. If you fall into one of these categories, that's absolutely fine. Be yourself. So without further ado, let's dive right in. This is without a doubt one of the two most popular archetypes. Artists are the backbone of the furry community, and was ultimately what started the community. Can you imagine this community without a dedicated art base? We'd all just have the default profile picture, one of those furry images that everyone uses. Remember to thank and tip your artists. They deserve it. Furries in denial will oftentimes talk with and actively partake in the furry community, but won't admit to themselves that they want to be in this community. Bonus points if they have an animal OC or draw furries as their main source of income, and double word score if they use ooh woo ironically. Don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly a saint when it comes to NSFW things, but I try to keep a general safe for work vibe. Unless Nick Wilde's involved. There are some people who don't do this, and instead are actively and openly sexual within the community, talking about it on their public main pages or open AD Twitter accounts. Now I'm not dunking on this, more power to ya. I'd give anything for that confidence. If you've ever looked at Lucario or Zeracora and thought, damn, I've got news for you. These are furries who got into the community through Pokemon. I actually fall in this category. I've discussed it before, but Misha was a Leafeon first, then became the puppy we all know and love today. It's kinda crazy how much of a correlation there is between furries and Pokemon. It's what? Okay, so it's not that what. And here we have the other half of the furry backbone. Fursuiters make the con experience, and just furry in general, as special as it is. Without fursuits, we'd just be a bunch of weirdos meeting up in random cons every year. Now we're just a bunch of weirdos meeting up in random cons every year, but some of us wear carpets that cost more than a car. As negative as the name may seem, this is 100% an okay thing to be. There are oftentimes furries who have a separate online space for their furry shenanigans, if any spot at all. They'd rather shrivel up into nothing than have people in their daily life learn about them being a furry. They often observe the community from afar, either due to anxiety or not being in a safe spot to be openly furry. 100% these people have a Toy House account. You know the type, their profile picture changes every week and their name every day. They scoop up adoptables like a cat lady and have at least one OC that's just forgotten in the back of a hot car. I can't even keep track of 3 Sonas, let alone a red wagon full of them. I don't know how they do it. These people run the community. I'd call them the sugar daddies of the community, dropping a bunch of money towards artists, streamers, or YouTubers on a constant basis, and all of us who are struggling to make life that much easier. These are the furries who partake in the community, but in more of a casual manner. Usually they'll go to furry events and have furry profiles and such, but they won't actively talk about furry stuff often, and won't bring it up to non-furry people. These aren't people who necessarily feel that the furry community is cringe, but it's just not a big deal to them, and they don't outwardly show furry shenanigans on the daily. Come on, Disney knew what they were doing. I mean, look at the tigers from Zootopia. Robin Hood is peak character design. I'd let Kovu step on me. Anyway, yeah, a lot of the furry community has some affiliation with liking or seeing Disney, sometimes even basing their characters off of Disney designs. Nothing improves a furry party quite like throwing on Zootopia or Robin Hood or even The Lion King. You know the ones. They only ever bap around with the will pod and just want to snuggle. Usually this type has no boundaries or hasn't ever heard of personal space. These are the people who are in the no politics club. If you're curious why that's an issue, then watch this video. I'll link it in the description below. So we're to the end of the video. Sorry this one took as long as it did. I was kind of busy this week to say the least. Can't quite talk about it yet right now. There's still more things I gotta do, but I'm doing a lot better than I was. If you saw my community post, I recently came out as gay, and that alone has been an absolute struggle to find my true self and to ultimately accept it. But now I have, and I feel better than ever. So do you fall into any of these archetypes? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!